Hi friends, it's Ms. Gina and it's time for story time. Today though, before we get started, I would like to talk to the adults first for just a minute. So why don't you go find a stuffed animal to bring back and maybe to listen to the story later with your stuffed animal, okay? I'll wait. All right, adults. So our story for today is a little bit difficult, and it's one that I wanted to talk through with you first before we got started. So the story is about Martin Luther King Jr., and it's in honor of Civil Rights Day, which is January 18th of 2021. And this book that we're going to be reading is a wonderful book that talks about the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King Jr.'s life. It is, however, a difficult subject, right? And it talks about some people died during the fight for civil rights. And that's a difficult topic that, you be the judge of whether your little person is ready to have that kind of a conversation or not. I do believe that talking to your little one about how everyone matters, everyone is important, that we all have value, are conversations to start very, very early with children. But you can decide whether or not this story time is something that you want to share with your children. And the other thing was that the book does talk about God in the Bible, and the reason why is because Martin Luther King Jr. was a minister, just like his father was. And so that is a part of the book, although it's not a big part of the book and it's not emphasized. So that is something that you're going to want to decide too if you want to have your little one hear about. So if you do, then call your little one to come on over because I'm ready for story time. I'll wait. Welcome back. I'm so glad that you joined us. And today I have a very special book to share with you. Where's the title? There's no words on this. And that's a cool thing about this book. The title's on the back. The title of the book that we're going to be reading today is Martin's Big Words. And it's a book about Martin Luther King Jr. This was written by Doreen Rappaport and illustrated by Bryan Collier. It was published by Hyperion Books. You'll notice on the cover of the book it has 3 medals, and these are very special medals that this book won. And this first one is a Caldecott Award medal, and this was won for the beautiful illustrations, the pretty pictures in this book. And so is this one. This one was an award for beautiful pictures in a children's storybook from the New York Times. This one is the Coretta Scott King Award for books about social justice. So this was a very important book. It got a lot of awards, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So let's get started. Martin's Big Words. Everywhere in Martin's hometown, he saw the signs, white only. His mother said these signs were in all southern cities and towns in the United States. Every time Martin read the words, he felt bad, until he remembered what his mother told him. You are as good as anyone. And there's Martin with his mother. You are as good as anyone too. In church, Martin sang hymns, he read from the Bible, he listened to his father preach. These words made him feel good. When I grow up, I'm going to get big words too. Do you see Martin in church? Martin grew up. He became a minister like his father, and he used the big words he had heard as a child from his parents and from the Bible. Everyone can be great. Do you see Martin Luther King? He studied the teachings of Mahatma Gandhi. He learned how the Indian nation won freedom without ever firing a gun. Martin said love when others said hate. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Those are some really important big words. I love that word, love. He said together when others said separate. He said peace when others said war. Sooner or later, all the people of the world will have to discover a way to live together. In 1955, on a cold December day in Montgomery, Alabama, Rosa Parks was coming home from work. A white man told her to get up from her seat on the bus so he could sit. She said no and was arrested. Montgomery's black citizens learned of her arrest. It made them angry. They decided not to ride the buses until they could sit anywhere they wanted. So remember, boys and girls, this was a very long time ago. Now people can sit wherever they want, but back then they couldn't. White people had to sit in one place and black people had to sit in another. For 381 days, they walked to work and school and church. They walked in rain and cold and in blistering heat. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them until the white city leaders had to agree they could sit anywhere they wanted. When the history books are written, some will say there lived black people who had the courage to stand up for their rights. In the next 10 years, Americans all over the South protested for equal rights. Martin walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. White ministers told them to stop. Mayors and governors and police chiefs and judges ordered them to stop, but they kept on marching. Wait. For years I have heard the word wait. We have waited more than 340 years for our rights. They were jailed and beaten and murdered, but they kept on marching. Some black Americans wanted to fight back with their fists. Martin convinced them not to by reminding them of the power of love. Love is the key to the problems of the world. Love is the solution for lots of problems. Many white Southerners hated and feared Martin's words. A few threatened to kill him and his family. His house was bombed, his brother's house was bombed, but he refused to stop. Remember, if I am stopped, this movement will not be stopped because God is with the movement. The marches continued. More and more Americans listened to Martin's words. He shared his dreams and filled them with hope. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. After 10 years of protests, the lawmakers in Washington voted to end segregation. The white-only signs in the South came down. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. cared about all Americans. He cared about people all over the world, and people all over the world admired him. In 1964, he won the Nobel Peace Prize. He won it because he taught others to fight with words, not fists. Martin went wherever people needed help. In April 1968, he went to Memphis, Tennessee. He went to help garbage collectors who were on strike. He walked with them and talked with them and sang with them and prayed with them. On the second day he was there, he was shot and he died. But his big words are alive for us today. Freedom, peace, together. I have a dream. Love. And those are Martin's big words. On January 18th in 2021, we celebrate Civil Rights Day. It's in honor of Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. His birthday was actually on January 15th, but we celebrate it on a Monday, and this year it's on January 18th. I hope you enjoyed the book, Martin's Big Words, and I hope you remember those big words too, young people. Love, peace, kindness, gentleness. Those are all great big words, but they're important words. And I hope you have them in your heart and you speak them to others as well. Keep reading. Until next time, bye-bye.